Swimmer we told you about yesterday has now been found dead in Lake Pleasant. The Maricopa County Sheriff's Office says the young man drowned after the inflatable inner tube he was on apparently lost air. He went underwater and didn't come back up. Our Sean Rice live now at Lake Pleasant. And I think we hear it all the time, Sean, from these rescuers. People get out there on these inflatables, you know, a paddle board, something like that. Something happens to it and they go under.
Yeah, they do. And they think they're invincible, unfortunately, especially with our younger demographic. They think they can come out here and they're maybe not a confident swimmer, but they, again, choose to not wear a life jacket. That's the absolute common denominator in nearly each of the drownings we see here at Lake Pleasant. When people go underwater, they can't swim, and they don't resurface, is all of them are not wearing a life jacket. And just here last night at Lake Pleasant, in the case of 20-year-old Isami Hine, that's what happened. He and all of his friends were on those inflatable tubes. None of them had life jackets on. He went underwater and he never resurfaced. I had a chance to speak with many of his family members today. They did not want to be interviewed, nor did they want to share pictures with us of Isami, but they told us they know that he was not a confident swimmer and, unfortunately, like I mentioned, was not wearing a life jacket. Let's take you to video of the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office response here last night. Where I'm at now is the Castle Creek boat ramp. This is where Isami's friends said they hadn't seen their friend for about 10 minutes after the inflatable he was laying in had popped, it lost air, and he went under. The Sheriff's Office conducted a search from about 7 p.m. to 2:30 a.m. all the way into Tuesday morning. That's when a remote operated vehicle came across his body in the vicinity of the lake where he was last seen. Now, here at Lake Pleasant, there are two different free life jacket stations. They're operated by the Arizona Game and Fish Department. These are so people can take life jackets, use them for free on the lake if they didn't bring one of their own. And Jay Arthur with the Arizona Drowning Prevention Coalition tells me young people often see these life jacket stations, but they choose not to use them out of fear of ridicule amongst their friends. They don't want to be the only person on the lake wearing a life jacket. But he says they truly do save lives, and he stressed to me just how important it is for people to use them.
If they really look at it, the people who make it back from lakes and rivers on a day trip or whatever, that wore their life jackets, they can talk about it. The people who don't, a lot of times aren't able to do that.
Lake Pleasant is known to be a lake where high winds come up in the afternoon and evening hours, and water levels, when that happens, can become unpredictable. People who use the lake recreationally are encouraged to check the forecast before coming out here and try to get off the water before these high winds come through. Now, Arizona state law mandates anyone under the age of 12 is required to wear a life jacket here on any body of water in the state of Arizona. But if you're above that age, it is everyone's own personal responsibility to choose one of the life jackets. They're just right here behind me, free to use, and ultimately it can save lives. The ultimate message here from the Game and Fish Department, the Sheriff's Office, and so many nonprofit groups across our state, it is just not worth anyone's life to see the life jackets and choose not to use them. I'll send it back to you guys.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, in that area where you're at, that Castle Creek area up there, is kind of the northwest part of the lake. It's not that deep. You know, and rescuers have told me in the past that they lose most people in less than 10 feet of water.
Yeah. Yeah, and it ultimately comes down to somebody's ability to swim. If you look over here just to the left of the boat ramp, as you mentioned, there's a little sandbar there that is not that deep. But if somebody is not a capable swimmer, it doesn't take that deep of water to ultimately go under, lose visibility with your friends, and ultimately never come up and never resurface. So it's just an unfortunate tragedy that happened here last night. And our hope is that people can hear this message and that maybe, just maybe, we won't have any future drownings here for the rest of the summer.
Yeah,
we'll send it back to you.
Young man lost, a family changed forever. All right, Sean, thank you for that.